Hi guys, welcome back to Get Your Play Online. My name is Mackenzie, and today we are going to be making some cloud dough. It's just this really super light and fluffy dough. Mine is kind of a little bit crumbly right now because it's been sitting out for a little bit, but it lasts for about 3 to 4 days, and you can just play with it however you like. So it turns out kind of like this. So let's get started. So for this activity, you're going to need a bowl, a pretty big bowl so you don't get cornstarch all over. And then you're going to need a spoon, some measuring cups, some food coloring, some conditioner, some cornstarch, and some glitter. Right. So first thing that we're going to do is we are going to measure out 1 cup of conditioner. So, and then it's usually easier to use 2 cups or 2 measuring cups for this activity, because otherwise your cornstarch is going to stick to the conditioner in your bottle. Let's get it so I can squirt out some. And I have a 1/2 cup measuring scoop right here. So I did 2 of those to make 1 cup. And then I'm going to pour in some glitter. I just have some regular craft glitter. I got it from Target. So I'm going to put in a lot of this because this is going to be our rain droplets. So we want quite a bit in. I'm actually going to open this up a little bit better. There we go. All right, I put a lot in mine just because I want to be able to see the different colors in there. And then you're going to put in about 5 to 6 drops of food coloring or squirts of food coloring, and then we're just going to mix it. We're just going to mix until we can't really see any food coloring drops anymore, and make sure that all of our food coloring glitter is all mixed in together. Now, I want this to be a little bit more blue, so I'm going to put in just a little bit more food coloring. Just like that. We're just going to stir and make sure you get all of the sides to get some of that glitter that might be hanging out on the sides and stuff like that. So just mix in. Now mix until you don't see any more clumps of food coloring. Make sure you're getting all of the corners of your bowl. Make sure you get all of that conditioner really, really, really mixed in there. Because the more you mix now, the easier it's going to be later. And it should look something kind of like that. So you can see all the glitter, and that's all of our rain in our rain cloud. All right, so we're going to put our conditioner back, and then we're going to take another measuring cup. I have a full cup scoop here, and then we're just going to take our cornstarch. Do whatever cornstarch you want. Just make sure you pour over your bowl. That way, if you spill a little bit, it doesn't get all over. So then we're just going to put in a little bit at a time, just to make sure it's all getting mixed together. And once it's kind of mixed and you don't see any more white, then you can add some more cornstarch. Make sure you get those sides, get all that cornstarch. I'm going to pour a little bit more in. When I'm pouring my cornstarch in, I make sure to do it in about 3 times per scoop, just to make sure I'm not adding too much at a time, because otherwise it can make it really, really dry and really, really crumbly, and then it won't work as well. Just make sure you're going slow with this. All right, we're going to add some more. Just keep swishing it around and making sure that you get all of the cornstarch mixed in. So you don't want to see any big white clumps when we're playing with our Play-Doh, or when we're playing with our cloud dough later. All right, we're going to measure out another cup of the cornstarch. Now this cup, you may not use all of it, and that's okay. We want to make sure that our cornstarch is still playable and not super crumbly. So I'm just going to mix some more in here. In this part, it is super important to make sure that you are getting all of the cornstarch off the sides, all of the cornstarch off the bottom, just to make sure that when you start playing, it doesn't come out. Now we're going to put a little bit more in. All right, it's starting to come together nicely. How is your guys' coming along? Leave a comment in the chat if you're making this with me, and tell me how it's going. All right, we're going to pour just a little bit more in there, because I think we're going to need just a little bit more. All right, mine is coming together super nicely. I think I might actually need to add just a little bit more cornstarch. See, mine's still kind of sticky. I'm going to add just a little bit more cornstarch. I'm going to open up my other box. Sometimes, depending on how thick your conditioner is, you'll need a little bit more, a little bit less. It's not always so much about the measurement of cornstarch. It's usually about how thick you want your dough to be. But I really like a thick and fluffy dough. So that's what we're making today. I'm just going to add just a little bit more. So measure it over your bowl to make sure you aren't getting any all over the counter or the table or wherever you're working. And go ahead and mix. I didn't pour too much back in, just because my dough is starting to form to some playable Play-Doh. Make sure you're getting all of the sides, but in just a little bit more. Just a few sprinkles, just to make sure it's not super sticky and doesn't stick to your mom and dad's table. All right, let's feel this. Let's see how this looks. It's still a little sticky, so we're going to pour a little bit more. Now, if your Play-Doh starts to become kind of crumbly, what you can do, instead of taking your spoon, you can start to mix with your hands. That's really fun too, because it feels so good on your fingers. All right, I think this is good. Let me just feel it. Oh yeah, this is good. It's a little sticky, but that's okay. Not super, super sticky. Actually, you know what? I am going to add a little bit more cornstarch to it now that I'm feeling it a little bit more. Because we want it to be really, really, really fluffy. And sometimes when you add glitter into it, you need a little bit more cornstarch, like we did today. All right. Yeah, that feels better. So now we can just take it out. You can see that you've got some glitter. Let me form this into a ball and I'll show you. See, you can see all the glitter in there, and that's all our raindrops. So now what we can do is I'm going to make a little smiley face. So we can just take a little part of our dough. I'm going to set the rest of mine off to the side. We can kind of smush it into a circle. We're going to take a little bit more dough. Make another 2 little balls. Make your eyes. Take another little ball. Make your nose. It's super fun. It's super fluffy and really easy to make. And it lasts for 3 to 4 days as long as you put it in a Ziploc bag or a Tupperware container. Got to make sure it doesn't stay out in the open. Oh man, he's a little stuck. That's okay. I think I smushed him a little too hard. Can't really see him, but there's a smiley face on there. Oh well. Stuck a little bit to my table. If you find that your Play-Doh is sticking to your table, all you gotta do is just add a little bit more cornstarch and you should be good to go. And always make sure if you make a mess to clean your mom and dad's table. Because that's the right thing to do, right? All right, so now we have our 2 cloud Play-Dohs. I'm going to wipe off my hands a little bit, and then I have a book for you guys. It's going to teach us all about clouds and weather and all that kind of stuff. So what's your guys' favorite kind of weather? I know mine is when it's super sunny and I can just go and be outside. But I also like when it's kind of rainy and I can read by the window inside. So drop a comment in the chat about what kind of weather you like the best. So today we're going to read a Dr. Seuss book. And it's called Oh Say Can You See? What's the weather today? I'm Cat the Hat, and it's raining, I know. But let's not stay inside. We've got places to go. When the sun is shining, where warm winds are blowing, where lightning flashing, where snowflakes are snowing. The weather is changing. Come on, let's get going. First stop is the top of Mount Karakaku, where they study the weather. That's all they do. Watching the weather helps everyone know what to wear, where to live, and what food they can grow. Pilots check weather when they fly a plane. Are they flying in sunshine? Are clouds filled with rain? Corn grows where it's hot. Rain grows where it's wet. Farmers grow what grows best in the weather they get. Look at all those. Meteorologists forecast the weather and say what kind of weather is heading our way. They send weather balloons floating high in the air to measure how hot or how cold it is there. Air temperature affects weather a lot. Thermometers show if it's cold or if it's hot. Wind changes weather, and we can see why. It blows clouds along and clears rain from the sky. Airmometers show how fast the wind goes. A wind vine will show you which way the wind blows. See, you can see the airmometer right there. On this map of the weather, you'll see it is showing it's sunny in Gret, but in Grubel it's snowing. A strong wind is blowing the snow right toward Gret. Tomorrow the weather in Gret will be wet. Symbols on the weather map show right away what kind of weather we're having today. See this little symbol right here? Means drizzle. And this one, the two dots, means rain. These ones mean it's snowing. And this means it's a hurricane. Weather forecasts are important to us. Will we need a jacket to wait for the bus? When clouds form a ring and it circles the moon, sailors know this ring means there's a storm coming soon. See, you can see the ring around the cloud. A pine cone can forecast the weather. Here's why. It's closed when it's wet and opened up when it's dry. Here's a fact that we cannot explain. Frogs croak a lot more when it's going to rain. There are all kinds of clouds you can see in the sky. Cirrus are light, wispy clouds floating by. Cumulus clouds mean there's a storm on the way. You see cumulus clouds on a warm, sunny day. When a cloud touches down on the ground, it's called fog. If it mixes with smoke, then fog becomes smog. A fun way to learn a cloud shape is to draw it. We said, that's a cirrus the minute we saw it. Uh-oh, I just dropped my glitter. Whoops. If you see inside any cloud, you would see water droplets that bounce all around happily. If the droplets get close, they will soon join together, get heavy, and fall. Then we're in for wet weather. Water droplets are tiny, and this fact made us stop. It takes 1 million water droplets to make one raindrop. They fall to the ground when the sun's energy turns them to water vapor, which we cannot see. Water vapor floats up, forms a new cloud, and then rain falls from the cloud to the ground once again. Guess what they call this? The path of the rain is called the water cycle. Here are some words that we learned on vacation. Rain, snow, sleet, and hail are called precipitation. Water changing to vapor is called evaporation. Vapor changing to water is called condensation. Who invented umbrellas? Well, we don't know, but umbrellas were first made in China. It's true, out of colorful paper and wood called bamboo. Thousands of years ago, they were first made so out in the sun, folks could walk in the shade. When it rained, they put wax on the paper. Here's why. Rain rolled off the wax, which kept the folks nice and dry. When air's warmer than freezing, I'd like to explain. Water falls from the clouds and it falls down as rain. When the air's freezing cold, it's important to know water falls from the clouds, but it falls down as snow. If you magnify snowflakes the way that we are, you will see that each one is a six-pointed star. They are made up of crystals, and each one you find is like no other snowflake. It's one of a kind. The desert is dry, and the reason is clear. Its rainfall is less than 10 inches a year. Here is a word, and we both like to rhyme it. The weather a place has the most is its climate. How do you keep cool when you live in a land that is hot, dry, and dusty and covered in sand? Loose-fitting clothes let breezes blow through, and light colors bounce the sun's rays right off of you. Where the earth is the coldest, meteorologists say Antarctica is freezing cold every day. Land covered in ice and deep, deep drifting snow. The air is so cold that plants cannot grow. How thick is the ice here? This made us think quick. We are standing on ice, 7,000 feet thick. Oh my goodness. We use a thermometer, and now we know in the air it is colder than deep in the snow. In a tropical jungle, it's hot and it's wet. If you go there to visit, you soon start to sweat. The weather is humid, which can make you feel icky. The air is full of water, and that's why you feel sticky. Air conditioners help you feel better. Here's why. Cold air holds less water, so you feel cool and dry. In a thunderstorm, first you will see a lightning flash. Next, you'll hear thunder grow, rumble, and crash. To find out how far thunderstorms are from you, try this easy trick. It's a fun thing to do. Start counting when you see a lightning bolt flash. Stop counting when you hear the next thunder crash. Take that number, divide it by 5. When you do, that's the number of miles that the storm is from you. Lightning's electric, so one flash is so strong it could light every light in your house all year long. Wow, that's a long time. Thunder won't hurt you, but lightning could. So here are a few things we would like you to know. Lightning strikes what is tallest, so take it from me. In a thunderstorm, never stand under a tree. If you're out in the field and have no place to go, get as small as you can, then scrunch way down low. Stay inside your car. If there's lightning around, it flows over your car and into the ground. If strong winds are blowing with hard driving rain, you may be in the middle of a hurricane. Winds blow in a circle both day and night, knocking lots of things down that get in their way. Here's a hurricane fact that's a favorite of mine. There can be lots of hurricanes at the same time. So each one gets a name. Andrew, Agnes, or Dora, Lenny, Diana, Mitch, Bertha, or Flora. They each get a name, so there's never a doubt which hurricane people are talking about. Hurricanes blow things down, but I learned from thing 2, tornadoes blow harder than hurricanes do. A tornado picks up everything it goes by like a huge vacuum cleaner way up in the sky. It spins like a top. twirling round and round, pulling trees, cars, and houses right off the ground. Once in a tornado, a chicken was tossed. She landed safely, but her feathers were lost. Oh man, that must be some strong wind. It's important to study the weather, it's true, but we cannot control it, whatever we do. The sun may be shining, the sky a bright blue, and then suddenly the rain will start falling on you. Or the sky may be filled with dark storm clouds, and then the sun will break through and shine down once again. You see, weather keeps changing, but one thing we know, it makes life exciting wherever you go. All right, thank you guys so much for making some cloud dough with me today and listening to a book all about the weather. Let us know what the weather is like at your house today. Bye, guys.